Former President George W. Bush reportedly says he will be a problem. His brother runs for the White House. According to Politico this morning, the 43rd president told a Chicago gathering that Jeb Bush will be a good president. But he added this, quote, "It's an easy line to say, haven't we had enough Bushes? After all, even my mother said yes. That's why you won't see me out there, and he doesn't need to defend me, and he's totally different from me." CBS News political director John Dickerson, the future host of Face the Nation, is in Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So how is Jeb going to handle George?
Well, this is going to strain the filial bonds a little bit. One of the ways he was going to handle it is by saying, you know, this is just a fixation of the press, and can't we move on from this? Well, that's fine, except when your brother brings it up, and then everybody says, oh, there's an elephant in the room, and your brother's pointing at it. So what he's going to hope is that by basically constantly saying, here are the things that I believe, people will stop talking about his relationship to his father and his brother. And he's just got to hope to change the conversation. But as George W. Bush put it, the problem here is that it gives an easy reason for people to just classify him and stop listening. And what Jeb Bush is trying to do is get people to actually listen.
Yeah. It's also, go ahead.
I was going to say it's an interesting dynamic because not only do you have the Bush dynasty, you have the Clinton dynasty. How do both of those candidates escape sort of and trying to be viewed as their own person?
Yeah, and also for the campaign to be about the future, not the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And we saw Marco Rubio announce his campaign this week by talking about politicians stuck in the past. He's talking there both about Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton. They both have a similar problem. What they both hope is that perhaps, and this is maybe a little wishful thinking, that both Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush can kind of use the caricature about them to kind of shock people into taking a second look. In other words, if they can hear something, if they don't immediately dismiss those candidacies, voters might think, I had a misimpression about either one of those two, and be pleasantly surprised. But that's tough because each has something where voters can easily classify them, stop listening, and go listen to some other kind of candidate.
You were with Hillary in Iowa. Of course, one of the big questions is how are voters responding? What was really her message, and how did voters receive it?
Well, it was sort of like an arranged marriage, you know, where the new couple goes down for their first meeting and the entire village comes to watch. So she had some interactions with voters, but there was this gargantuan press throng around her. So voters there are seeing lots of pictures of these meetings, but particularly in Iowa, it's going to have to be lots and lots of visits before they take a final view of her.
All right, John Dickerson, thank you so much.